The Detroit Lions had a very rough start to the season, starting out 1-6. But 7 weeks later, we're in a lot better of a situation, being 7-7. The Lions have won 3 games in a row and have won 6 out of the past 7 games. That one loss being to the Super Bowl favorite Bills on Thanksgiving. They lost that one game by 3 points because of some late game heroics from Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. That game was certainly disappointing, and it left me worried that it would kill our momentum from winning the previous 3 games. But after that game, we destroyed the hot Jaguars. We took care of business with the Vikings and beat them by over 10 points. And recently, it was an ugly game, but we beat the Jets in a low-scoring game. And now we're back at 500 and we're rolling. There are 3 remaining games this season, and if we were to win out, we would have a good chance of making the playoffs. We play the Panthers, we play the Bears, and we play the Packers. 3 very winnable games. As of now, the Lions have a 44% chance of making the playoffs according to playoff status. The Lions have really bought into what Dan Campbell and his coaching staff are preaching, and they've really rallied behind him. When the Lions were 1-6, it would have just been really easy to look forward to the draft pick and just kind of write off the season. And with some people at that point saying that this is going to be Dan Campbell's final year, it is truly amazing what they've been able to accomplish since then. They're just playing good, tough football, and that's translating into wins. Dan Campbell is showing that what he does is working, and that he is a good coach. His coaching style and his personality really match the city of Detroit well, and our guys are still extremely young, and we're getting better every single week. In fact, the Lions have the 2nd youngest team in the entire NFL, with an average age on the team of barely 25 years old. And we have 4 starters on our defense that are all rookies. And speaking of rookies, we've had an incredible draft class this year, and that's been really contributing to our success. Our first pick was Aiden Hutchinson, and he's just an absolute stud, and I don't think I need to say anything more. With our second selection, we traded up 20 picks with the Minnesota Vikings, and we absolutely fleeced them. And with that pick, we moved up to the number 12 selection. With that pick, we selected Jameson Williams, who's just getting back from injury right now, but all I'm hearing from the other Lions receivers is that he's going to be a star. So far, they've just been trying to get his legs underneath him and giving him limited snaps, and just to make sure he doesn't re-injure himself. But so far in the NFL, he has 1 catch, and that 1 catch happened to be a touchdown against the Vikings. There was a play in the previous game against the Jets where he was 5 yards past the defender, but the ball was a little bit underthrown, and that kind of allowed the defender to get back into the play, and it prevented Jameson Williams from coming down with the ball. With our 2nd round pick, we selected defensive end Josh Pascal. This year he's kind of dealt with injury a little bit, but he's shown flashes of being a good player in the future. This year though, he's been a solid contributor with 2 quarterback hits and a few quarterback hurries. But next year when he returns fully healthy, I think he'll be a good player. With our 3rd round pick, we selected safety Kerby Joseph. He was a ball hawk in college, and he has been a very good ball hawk in the NFL so far. Joseph had to fill in for Tracy Walker when he went down with a season-ending injury. Kerby Joseph has been very good for a rookie safety with a combined 66 tackles and 3 interceptions. And in the future, he will be a star. And with our 5th round pick, we selected tight end James Mitchell. His junior year of college, he hurt his right knee, making him fall on draft boards. And if he didn't get hurt, he likely would have been a 2nd to 3rd round pick. And this is a theme that we see with the Detroit Lions right now, because if Jameson Williams didn't get injured in college, he likely would have been like the 4th or 5th overall pick, and I think he would have gone to the Jets. But because we drafted him and we didn't think we needed him this year, we were able to get him at pick 12. And we kind of did the same thing with Mitchell here. He likely would have been the first 2 or 3 tight ends off the board if he was healthy. And I personally like the strategy in most cases, as long as it doesn't affect the players after they return from their injury. And the Lions were able to get better talent in this draft because they were willing to be patient and didn't need these players to play day 1 after we drafted them. But Mitchell looks like a solid tight end, and I think we'll try to use him more as a vertical threat tight end, and then Brock Wright as more of a blocking tight end, so we can fit them into more of their roles. This year, Mitchell has 1 touchdown, and I think we'll try to utilize him more in the future. Now with the 6th round, we took Malcolm Rodriguez, and this might be the steal of the draft. Rodrigo, from the minute we got him, he has performed. From starring on Hard Knocks to commanding the defense in the regular season, he has been a great player. On the season, Rodrigo has 75 total tackles 1 forced fumble, and 1 sack. That pick was an absolute steal, and he'll be a great player for a long time. With our other 6th-round pick, we got another absolute steal in James Houston. This year he's only played in 4 games, and he has 5 sacks. Every single game he has played in, he has at least 1 sack. I'm not sure if he can do anything else besides being a 3rd-down pass rusher, but I don't care. He's really good at what he does. So the Lions had a very good draft class, specifically 6th-round picks, but the rest is pretty good too. Another main factor contributing to our success is the play of Jared Goff. In the last 6 games, he has 1,563 passing yards for 9 touchdowns and 0 picks. And he has a passer rating of 104 and a completion percentage of 68%. He is playing very well and is making a huge difference. At this point, the Lions don't view Jared Goff as their bridge quarterback, and they view him as their long-term starter. If he keeps playing like this, the Lions will not draft a quarterback, and they will address a much bigger need, as the defense is way more needed than a quarterback right now. I've also been very impressed with Jared Goff, and I also think he'll be the long-term starter. But now to make the playoffs, we will likely have to win out. Starting with next week though, we play the Panthers coming off a loss against the Steelers. The Lions are favored to win this game, which doesn't really surprise me. But these final 3 weeks, we just got to take it 1 week at a time, because that is what got us out of the 1-6 hole to begin with. Next we play the Bears, who are 3-11, but I believe that they're better than their record says. They have their franchise quarterback in Justin Fields, and he is electric, and we'll have to game plan around him to stop his running ability. But I believe that we can win this game. And finally, we play the Packers, and I'm not sure who's going to play quarterback for them this game. It strongly depends on if they're eliminated from the playoffs, and if so, when does that happen? But if they're eliminated, I think that they'll just let Jordan Love play this game. Maybe if they bench Rodgers, they might let some other young guys play as well, and that might lead to an easier win. But this game is at Lambeau Field, and it could be a tough game in this atmosphere. Let's say the Lions win out and finish with a record of 10-7. And if we get in, we will likely be the 7th seed or potentially the 6th seed. And the Eagles are going to be the 1st seed, so they're going to get the bye week, and that means we'll play the Vikings if we're the 7th seed. The 49ers could pass up the Vikings though, and in that case we'd have to play them. But if we could get into the wild card round and play the Vikings, that would be great, because the Lions have shown that they can beat the Vikings. And we beat them at home, but week 3, we almost beat them when we were on the road. And we're definitely playing better now, so I do think we definitely would have a chance at that game. So if we were to beat the Vikings in the wild card round, we would have to play the winner of the 4th and the 5th seed in the divisional round, which right now is the Buccaneers and the Cowboys, which neither of them are playing good football right now. I think we would have a shot to beat either one of them in the divisional round. So let's say we play either one of them and then we beat them. Then we would move on to the conference championship, where we'd play the winner of the Eagles versus the 49ers, assuming that the 49ers beat the Giants in the wildcard round. And both of these teams would be tough to play, but I think we would have a shot at either one of them. Week 1, we barely lost to the Eagles, and I think it's safe to say that we're playing a lot better now than we were then. Even if we don't win, we would definitely compete. So I think we have a shot at winning this game. So if the Lions were to win, that's how I think it would occur. But do keep in mind, this requires winning out, and then we would have to pass up the Seahawks and the Commanders. So we would need both of them to lose another game or 2. But I love how the Lions are playing right now. And as a fan, this is what I've been waiting for a long time. So let me know in the comments, do you think the Lions will make the playoffs? And if so, do you think we can go on a run? So make sure to do that, and also make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and also turn on the bell notification. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, as it really helps push out my content. And that's going to be it for now. See you next time.